What's up, YouTube fans? Today, I want to take a look at the FansToys Forager, their version of a Masterpiece Kickback. So this was just reissued for 2021. The original release was in 2016. So I wanted to take a look at this. I never actually reviewed this on this channel. Also, I wanted to see if there's any differences or changes made from the original. We will bring in the original mold to compare it a little bit later. First, let's take a look at this figure. It is really nice looking. It's got the nice painted yellow chest, a little blue detail there. The face is silver with that metallic red for the eyes. You do have rubbery ears here, and I'll talk about that later. Looks cool, but I don't know if it's good for longevity. Got some yellow paint here, red here. You got purple paint on the toes with the silver and red accents. Blue here, red there. Here's the back. This configuration is not necessarily talked about in the instruction manual, although it seems to be the cleanest looking and the best looking. So this is how I put it, but people probably transform this differently. I just feel like this is the most compact and most good looking way to transform the backpack. But of course you can do it however you like. It does have nice shiny chrome on the wings, and that looks pretty good. He does come with some accessories, so you do get once again the 3 Energon cubes, and those are nice. You get the replacement translucent chest. That again looks good. It's got the little blue detail on there. Personally, I don't want to put these on, but you can remove that screw and then get these on there. And then finally you get the gun here. It does look like it's got a clip here, so that's kind of cool. That's very reminiscent of the original gun from the toy. You can get that into his hand just like any other Masterpiece figure. Use the peg system, and he looks good with that gun. I like the way that looks. And you do also get this collector's card here. It says FT-14 Forager. It now says FansToys 2021. The rest of this is all identical to the original release and looks good. It does have some decent articulation. The wings can fold in and out here on this joint, although I would be careful with this chrome, and also I probably would recommend wiping it down after you play with it, because it is a fingerprint magnet. The head is kind of weird. It does rotate all the way around, and it goes a little bit up and down. If you want to put it up, you really have to kind of lift that and then lift the mask back or the face back, but then it ends up getting indented into his face. I don't know, it doesn't really work that well. But he does go up down a little bit, and a little bit of side to side, but not much. Not great movement on the head. The shoulder rotates all the way around on a very tight friction joint. It goes up to there. You do have a rotation at the bicep. Double jointed elbow gets you well past 90 degrees. You have a rotation at the wrist, and then a single pin for the fingers, just like all their mini bots. Rotation at the waist all the way around. No ab crunch on this guy. You can open up the chest, although it doesn't really have any purpose other than to switch it out for the translucent piece. There you go. The legs go up to there, back to there, all on friction, out to the side on friction. Rotation at the thigh. Double jointed knee gets you the full bend. You have a toe tilt, not an ankle tilt on this one, and then a pivot back and forth. And for comparison, there it is with the Takara Tomy Megatron and the other brothers here in the Insecticons, the FansToys Grenadier and the FansToys Mercenary. Of course, they look really good together. They all scale in size well, and they fit well with Megatron. I think good scale and a good look overall for the set. And just one final comparison, there it is next to the 2016 version of Forager. And I'm sad to report there are no changes. These are identical molds in pretty much every way. Although I'm just noticing the QC stickers in a different spot on this guy, or maybe it's not there at all. But really no molding changes. One of the things that people were really anticipating or hoping for was that they fix these wings and change them into die-cast parts or something better. Unfortunately, they haven't done that. So we'll talk about that later in the final thoughts, but I just wanted to mention these are identical. There is no change to the mold. Alright, now let's get Forager transformed into his insect mode. Go ahead and open up the hand and take the gun out and just set that aside for now. Close up that fist. And you do want to be careful with this transformation. It does have some very scary parts, and you want to be careful with those. Go ahead and lift up on the arms. Pull down on this part. Just be gentle with it, but you do have to pull it all the way open. That's one of the parts that really sucks, is you got to open that all the way. Once you do that, then you're going to rotate this wing. Be very careful. Try to hold in the strongest part of the wing. But you have to get it basically all the way back like that. Right? And that's going to allow you to release and move this entire arm piece back. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and lift this up. Unpeg the clip for the wing. And if you need a spudger, you can grab a spudger, but you should be able to do without it. Open it all the way up. Don't force it, but push it basically as far as it'll go there. Then rotate the wing to the back, basically so that you can clear that entire piece. They should be basically straightforward like that. Now with those forward, you should be able to pull these arms and this whole assembly out. Actually, before we do that, unpeg this piece here. And you might need a spudger, but so unpeg that from his back. You can just fold that down, and then it's going to peg in right there. Now we can pull these arms out all the way. And again, make sure these are down. You want to clear those. Those are probably the most risky part on this entire thing. Get these bug legs kind of pulled out and away so it can give you some space. See on this side. We're going to rotate here at the bottom. So there's basically a rotating panel. So rotate around on that panel until you get the arm to the inside. Fold up the arm, and we want to have it so that the purple part of the arm is aligned with this screw right here. So get that lined up, and it should look something like that when you're done. And these bug legs, you can just leave them for now. We do have to rotate one of the bug legs. So this one, based on the way I had it configured, and again, you can see, let's rotate this out of the way. You can see this clip likes to move on you. So you have to always pay attention to the location of that clip, because later we're going to want it in a certain direction. Right. So go ahead and rotate this one around. And now that's ready for bug mode. So you should have both claws kind of facing like that. Alright, so let's do this one now. Go ahead and pull those arms out. Rotate the arm around. Fold this arm up, and then make sure the purple part is lined up with that screw on the back. Careful with this piece here. Your hand should be facing outwards like that. Okay, now that you have it like this, we'll rotate the bug legs up and then get this configured the right direction. Okay. Now that we have that all configured, we can push this back in, and again, make sure these are down. Straighten out the wings here in the front. Now we can push this in little by little, making sure everything's aligned and going in, and it should fit all the way in to his arms, right? Until it basically can't go anymore. So that's what you should have. Now comes the scary part. So you got to rotate this wing. Okay, so hold here if you can, not here or here. Try to hold in the thickest part of the wing, but rotate that as far back as you can get it. And then take this part and close that clip. Then you got to rotate it all the way the other way. And again, hold it in the right spot. Make sure you close that clip. If you don't close that clip, you're going to have a hard time. But basically get it rotated back like this, along the length of the body. Same on this one. Fold this all the way down. Be careful with this part, but lock that in. Then rotate that all the way back the other direction, making sure that locking clip is in place. Right, so that's the scary part of those. If you're careful, like I just showed you, you don't have to risk breaking it. And that is the part that FansToys talks about in their book. Go ahead and rotate these legs downwards. They're just going to sit like this. And you can configure these however you like. I like to put them like that. Next, we're going to take care of the head. So go ahead and open up this panel here. It's kind of hidden. Basically open up the back of his head. And that reveals this. Flip this back. Close down the face. Open this up just a bit, and we have to basically get that poked through. So use a spudger, and we can poke that face cover through so it comes through the other side. And then just cover that down and then push the head back together. It just snaps together. Right? And you should have this rotated towards the bottom. And then we can rotate the ears upwards. Of course, be careful with the rubber there, but you should end up with something like this, and you have that nice covered face. Come to the back here, we'll take care of the legs. Go ahead and pull these out. And that'll allow you to unpeg the leg. And we're going to accordion this down, and it's going to peg back in here. You should hear a click. You can straighten this out. Oops, you unclicked it. Flatten up the foot, and then take this toe, that's going to fold inwards, and that's one leg done. Same on this side. Go ahead and open up this foot, accordion that down, take this part, and that's going to accordion downwards and click in place. Fold this down, fold the foot in place, make sure that's down. And the last step here, if you want to do it, you can take the gun, and you can see there's a little slot there. That's where the handle is going to fit in. It does fit in securely in there, but it doesn't peg into the back of his body here, so don't force it, just let it sit like that. And there is Forager all transformed up into his insect mode. Pretty good looking overall. It does have some cool little features. So you got the rubby little ears. You do have some articulation on this wings. You can rotate in and out however you see fit. I like to put them out a little bit. These arms can rotate here, and then you have 1, 2, 3 points of articulation, so you can get that set up however you like. I like to have it like that. The gun, so this gun, for whatever reason, the glue is coming off, so it'll probably just keep falling out, but I'll probably just glue this back together. But it's just two pieces that fit together. Not actually broken, but maybe it needs more glue. The legs can rotate out to there and into there. They do rotate around. You can rotate this leg up and down, and then you can rotate this toe and then this joint here. So however you want to configure those, I like to have it straight back with the foot flat on the ground. You can do whatever you like with your setup. And for size comparison, there is Forager next to his Insecticon buddies. And of course this set looks good together. I do have the purple chested Grenadier here. I didn't want to transform. I'm not going to bother with the silver chest. But the set overall really looks nice together. And for a size comparison, there is the transform element version of Nemesis Prime. It is kind of the same length, but obviously a little bit smaller. But these do fit as almost the size of Autobot cars. So final thoughts on Forager. Let's start with the positives. So I think it looks really nice in both the robot mode and the bug mode. The paint and the details, the die cast, the shiny chrome, all that looks nice and appeals to that G1 nostalgic feel. We also get some good accessories. You do get the Energon cubes, and those work well. You have the translucent chest piece, and you have the gun, of course. All of those look good and work well. On the negative side, The design of these wings is absolutely horrible, and they missed the opportunity to actually fix it. They could have replaced the material with maybe some die cast, or just changed design altogether so you're not swinging the wing back and forth, which of course that constant movement is going to stress this plastic, which is very thin and also not a very strong material. So to me, that just feels like a huge missed opportunities on FansToys' part. But also negatives is the transformation isn't very fun because you're so worried about these wings and about moving them around. You're trying to get these parts in and out of the back in order to complete the transformation. Now I do like how this cleans up a little bit better than the others, but unfortunately it's just not fun because you're so worried about these fragile parts. So that's kind of a negative as well. So final thoughts on the FansToys Insecticon reissue set. Just for transparency, this one, and this one are from the 2021 reissue. The rest are the original set. The originals cost $80 per figure. The new ones are roughly $150. If you bought the purple chest, if you bought the gray chest, you paid a little bit more than that, closer to $250 for the gray chest. So given those price points, roughly double, I cannot recommend the new set unless you don't own the original set. There aren't enough changes to really justify paying double the price. The only change that really I've found in terms of everything, in terms of accessories, the mold, the transformation, is the little drop down piece here to unlock Grenadier's arms. And that is a more convenience thing, but it's a very small change. They really could have fixed Forager's wings. They really could have done some things like fix these little pieces that block. There's not enough changes here to justify that price change. With that being said, if you don't own it, then you're looking at aftermarket prices for these guys, which are astronomical or were astronomical. They're still up there. So $450 compared to the $1,200 or whatever these guys were going for. Yeah, that's definitely better. But for me personally, this does feel like unfortunate, like a cash grab by FansToys. Now, they are probably using the capital raised by this to fund new development for new figures, and I'm of course looking forward to finishing my set of Menasor Stunicons, and that's going to be exciting, but I don't feel like I got what I paid for here in terms of money's worth compared to the original issues. Hopefully I helped you decide which direction you want to go with your FansToys Insecticon set. That's really it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.